The Bronx Music Podcast is made possible in part by underwriting grants from City Council members Eric Dinowitz and Althea Stevens. Today's episode is produced through the program services of Project Media Zone, a community-based 501c3 media organization whose mission is to democratize media production of positive and informative content.
Olinville, even the Gun Hill, from Freeman Street to Prospect Avenue, Fordham Road, Co-op City to Elder Avenue, Valley Park, Eaton Wall to Bronx River, Bronx Deal, Soundview, S-Bar, baby. I'm boogie down like this Choke King Mario within the playground.
Hey everybody, welcome to episode number 29 of the Bronx Music Podcast. We'll get the business out of the way. We have a nice crowd here at the Artist on City Island. The usual cast of characters are here. Elliot Glick from the Artist to put all the technology together. George Williams is our technical director, our videographer and editor. The Bronx Music Podcast with Gary Axelbank, that's me, is produced through the services of George's nonprofit called Project Media Zone. The Bronx Music Podcast receives underwriting support from New York City Council members Eric Dinowitz and Althea Stevens. And we, of course, invite you, the whole social media thing, and please share us on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. You can hear us out there on those. You can share us on all your favorite social media channels. And nice to see everybody here. We got a great group. We're here to talk about Rumpelstiltskin. Now, if you know or may not know, it's a classic German fairy tale collected by the Brothers Grimm about an imp. All the media calls him an imp, but I interpreted it as a rascal who spins straw into gold in exchange, now this is corrupt, for a miller daughter's firstborn child. It is a timeless story of a desperate deal, an impossible riddle, and the power of knowing a name. So that's part of what we're going to talk about. More importantly, we're here to hang out with the brilliant and beautiful and talented Lehman College professor, my buddy Penny Prince. Nice to have you with us,
Wonderful
Penny.
to be here. Thank you.
And she has been the teacher. Here's the credit. She's been a teacher of the year at Lehman. Her original creation of Cinderella 21 won the American Prize for Musical Theater. Last year's Rapunzel 25, because they update it every year, is in the finals now for that award. Of course, they have to give it to her. I mean, give me a break. Nice to have you back with us. This is the first repeat guest on the Bronx Music Podcast. Yes. Thank you for joining us. And she brought along with her two stars of this year's Rumpelstiltskin, composed by Professor Penny Prince and co-written by the cast. So everything you heard is a new creation. Cesar Salcedo Porto Real. Did I get that right?
Yes,
okay.
Thank you.
He played King Leo in the Lehman College performance of Rumpelstiltskin, and Verdale Stinson Jr., who played Rumpelstiltskin. Do you wake up and say, I can't even pronounce that, and yet that's my name? Oh, okay. Anyway, we'll learn about both of those guys. I do want to start with you, Professor Prince. You did Rumpelstiltskin before? So do tell the story.
Okay. I love fairy tales. And what I love most is finding the motivations of each character.
Stay into that microphone.
Why did they do the things they do? Sometimes the horrible things that they did. So this is actually the fourth Rumpelstiltskin I've done. I did one when I first came to Lehman about 20 years ago. And then I did one about 10 years ago, then one about 8 years ago. Anyway, I wasn't finished with this story yet.
Why? You're not going to get away with that.
All right.
Why?
Because there were things I still did not understand. Why would someone make a deal like that? As you said, the imp, we're not calling him an imp. But why
I called him a rascal.
Okay, well.
I mean, there's other Bronx language we could use, but I ain't going there.
I have a different way of looking at him, which I'll be happy to tell you. But why would he do what he did? Why would the king do what he did? And also, there were some parts of the story that are very difficult to tell. For example, he comes to spin the gold 3 nights in a row. So it's very hard to dramatize that because we don't want to do the same thing 3 times.
And or 4 years in a row.
That's true. So there were things I still wanted to do, and each time we do it, it's a new cast co-writing the script. So it requires new characters, a few new songs each time. It's always different.
All right, so here's the stupid question of the day. How long does it take to prepare that? And how many students do you work with to write a script? I mean, my goodness.
Yeah, that's tricky.
But that is why I used the word brilliant when I described you. But go ahead, that was on me.
Okay. So I'm very fast at writing music. If I get an idea, it's playing around in my head for a while, but
A while meaning days, hours,
days,
years?
days, and then when I'm finally ready, I sit down and I write it. So I'm not the problem.
As far as we know. Okay. That's, so she says.
The music is the easy part.
So, but that brings up something, and I told you I was going to ask you a question that I was saving for the program.
All right.
Do you wake up in the morning and the first thing on your mind is a melody, and you say
It's all night.
All night long?
Yeah.
You sing yourself to sleep.
Yeah, I'm hearing music, and then sometimes I'll start a song when I go to sleep, and when I wake up, I'm at the end of the song.
And then do you have a pad and pencil, or you run to the piano and play it?
Sometimes when I'm disciplined, I do that. Otherwise, I'll say I'll remember, and then that doesn't work. You
It
don't
doesn't
remember,
work.
no.
So a lot of these songs were conceived at 3 a.m. when you weren't awake.
I think so. I think so.
The question, I really was curious, and I'm going to ask each of the others as well. Do you have perfect pitch? No, I'm starting with you, Professor.
Pretty much.
So if I said sing an A, you could sing it?
I think, is that right? I'm close.
It was pretty good. Did I get it? I'm upside down.
That's it. That's what I
That's
say.
it. You got it
That's what
pretty
I
good.
say.
Do you have perfect pitch, Cesar?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. And Verdale.
I don't know. Maybe.
So what if I say sing an A? Go ahead.
I'm going to repeat what Penny.
Oh, right. That's right. Because you heard her tone. You could just sing that note.
No, but
All
I
right.
would add to that they both have extreme musical intelligence, because when I audition everyone, first they sing a song a cappella, and then I introduce them to songs from the play. And both of them immediately caught on. I played their songs for them. They got, within 2 minutes, they were able to sing the song.
Cesar Salcedo, Puerto Real, King Leo, born and raised in the Dominican Republic until age 10. Migrated to New York, specifically the Boogie Down Bronx, where he's lived ever since. Went to high school for law advocacy and community justice at the MLK campus. He found his love for advocacy and fight for social justice. Gee, in the Bronx, where have I heard that before? He was part of the People's Theater Academy, where he's found a love for acting, and he does attend Lehman College, working on his BFA in Multimedia Performing Arts and a BA in psychology. Congratulations. So is there a connection between the two, your ability to perform, and then you're going to be a psychologist? I mean, what's the connection? Or what's going on in there?
Listen, I wish
Hello?
There is. People tend to always ask me, "Oh, are you going into drama therapy?" Like as soon as I say my 2 concentrations, and I don't think that's where I want to go specifically. I'm not opposed to it, but I don't think that's like my end goal. I think that definitely theater, TV and film acting, it's kind of my thing, but I think that in psychology, you tend to start to understand yourself to a deeper level that helps you connect with the characters that you are stepping into. For sure.
Sorry, I normally answer right away, but that's so interesting that learning psychology helps you understand how to interpret the character. Wow. Okay, so you blew my mind. That was good. Good. Somebody mark that down. do you like acting more than singing, or it needs to be combined, or like how do you view all of that?
Oh God. I think that.
Oh, good. I asked them a good question.
You did.
Stumped them.
That was a little difficult to answer. I think that because I've been a little more concentrated on the acting because of my BFA rather than the singing, although it is included in there. I think that I'm going to say acting is kind of on like my top priority right now because it takes a lot. So does singing, but I think it takes a lot to be able to connect with characters, to portray certain messages, and still kind of like be your own person. Whereas singing to me came from a very young age, and I always did it kind of for fun. Now I'm starting to develop my voice a little more and take classes, all that good stuff.
Wow. It is fascinating to me. And we're going to get to Verdale in a second. How did you get involved with Penny Prince and Rumpelstiltskin? Had you been within the music department at Lehman College, or you just showed up, or who knows? Don't you say anything. You go ahead. Go ahead, Cesar.
So I tend to live kind of a pretty busy life. And
Welcome to the Bronx.
No,
dude.
literally. So I was walking through Lehman and I see like the poster for the audition, and I'm like, I'm not gonna audition. I have so much to do.
And you had sung before, so it was within your realm to
Yes.
think maybe I could do this.
Yeah, exactly. So I did kind of give it a little thought here and there, but what really solidified it for me was that I went to visit my first theater professor at Lehman, and she was, we were catching up, whatever, and she was like, oh my God, I remember you can sing, like, are you going to audition for this and that? And I'm like, what is Rumpelstiltskin?
He can't even pronounce it. And let's name the professor.
Yes, it was Dr. B. Watson.
Okay.
Susan B. Watson. She, oh my God, she was amazing. And she said, you're going to love Penny. You have to work with her at least once in your life. And I went in and I did love working with Penny.
I was just going to say, don't listen. Is it true?
Yes. Oh my God. Excellent.
All right. I want to bring Verdale in, and then we'll find out why you both feel that way. I'm going to make the assumption that he does, and then we'll get back to Rumpelstiltskin. Okay, so you were Rumpelstiltskin. Now, this is the little hidden thing. He grew up in Queens. Shh. Okay. He grew up in Queens, raised in a very music-based family. Pretty much everyone sings in the family, attended public school, repertory, high school for the arts. He was trained in a lot of his current singing and acting. He's been acting full-time in off-Broadway productions as The Lion King. He was Simba, The Wiz. He was the Scarecrow. Moana, this I'm not unfamiliar with. Chef Twee.
Chief Tui.
Chief Twee, okay. And on and on. Jabari in Jabari Dreams of Freedom, performing at the New York Victory Theater in New York, et cetera, et cetera. What brought you across the Whitestone Bridge and got you to Lehman College? Which, by the way, is my alma mater, class of 75. So I'm part of the family. And now he is, too. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, so it's an interesting story, actually. So one of Penny's students, her name is Colette Albo. I hope I'm saying that right.
She's not here.
Hope I'm saying that right. She's actually studying abroad in London right now.
Hey.
She was a part of Penny's Sleeping Beauty production, and they were looking for a prince. Yeah. And me and Colette, we were on tour together. We were doing Jabari Dreams of Freedom. And she was just like, oh, I think you would be perfect for this part at, my former college and da-da-da-da-da.
He does impersonations.
So I came in and I met Penny and we fell in love with each other.
Okay, so you brought it up again. So what is the connection with Penny as a leader, as a teacher, as the producer or director or the creator of these plays? So with you first, Verdale. Don't listen. Just relax.
Our connection. I love for music. She loves music. Like it. She eats it. She breathes it.
She writes it at 3 a.m. in the morning.
She's singing the songs in her sleep, and I love the passion in her. And I guess she saw the passion in me as well. And we just bonded over music. And she gets me as a singer. And
Hold on. What is it about him as a singer that you get?
Oh my goodness. He doesn't have to be told how to interpret a song. He feels it right away. He feels it. Yeah.
Which is okay.
Right.
And when she plays the piano, she feels it. So we're having this synergy on stage when it's happening and there's magic just bubbling up.
Wait till you folks in podcast land hear them sing in her play. But let me ask you a similar question, because you started it. What is the connection to Professor Prince, or did he already answer the question?
I think, just to add on to what you're saying, you are so strong-willed. And I walked into the audition, I sang a song, she went, no, sing another one, because I know you can do better. And I sang another one, and she was like, hey, exactly, you're in. And that to me was like, also coming back to music, it was kind of what I needed, someone to be like headstrong and be like, hey, you can do it, just go there. Yeah. And I like that. She pushes you.
Yeah, she definitely pushes you.
And Penny Prince, now it's your turn. Let's just talk about why Lehman College, and I don't want to necessarily boast about my alma mater, but why is this Lehman College music and theater production? I mean, and we haven't even talked about the Center for the Performing Arts and all the other things there. But why does this work? To be able to do this kind of thing at this institution.
Wonderful. Well, at Lehman, I know as a professor, and we have a couple of other professors in the audience here, if you have a dream...
Which tells you something about it also, the fact that they came here.
That's
Go
true.
ahead.
If you have a dream, you can follow it. No one's telling you, no, that's not in your job description, you can't do that. I mean, I'm not...
Any direction.
Right. I'm hired as a music education professor, so I don't have to be doing plays or writing music at all.
Oh.
But I've made a commitment to myself that I would put on a play every year. And one reason I did that is because our theater department tends to only do dramatic plays, not musicals. Mm-hmm. And I always felt there should be musicals every year. So
especially when you have the ability to do it.
Right.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. We're ready. So Cesar is going to be first. Okay. So he was the king, and
yes.
He's going to sing a song called "I'm the King."
Yes.
All right. You're going to get to the piano. He's going to sing. All right, ladies and gentlemen, from Rumpelstiltskin, it is Cesar. Are you ready? All right. Here we go, folks.
They say that I am greedy, there's a rumor in the palace. Do they think I'm hard of hearing? Well, I shan't react with malice, for I freely do admit I've got an appetite to satisfy, and know my royal citizens are duty bound to gratify the king. They say that I'm a miser, they've the nerve to moan and mutter. Do they think I'm none the wiser? Well, it doesn't make me shudder, for I freely will confess that I've got treasure chests to fill, and I promise all my subjects, if it kills them all, I will, for I'm the king. A king is thirsty, a king has needs. A king needs fuel for his masterly deeds. They say I overdo it, yes, I hear them in their chambers, but I will not pursue it. I'm not issuing disclaimers, for I have a royal hunger for the most that I can get, and you all must try to please me and appease me, for I haven't finished yet. A king is lonely as nights grow cold. A king must fill up his coffers with gold. So let us tour the countryside and surely we'll discover some farmland underutilized, some hidden mine or other. And then for the glory of the throne, I'll grab it for my very own and trim the meat of every bone. For I'm the king. Thank you. Thank you.
Woo!
I got to tell you, it's just incredible. It's heart wrenching, etc. What about that song and what about that performance that works for you?
That works. Wow. Well, okay. I think me
Because watching you perform it, you were personally and emotionally involved in it. It was clear.
Yes.
And so that's what I want to get to.
Yes. So I think that I'm very different from the king, but
Oh, you mean as a person?
Right,
You mean,
right.
if the king was here in the BX on the Grand Concourse, he wouldn't quite get it?
No.
All right, I
Yeah,
understand that.
No. But I think I do have a very strong personality, and I think that's what I try to tap in to channel with the king, because I don't think of myself as like selfish or like self-centered, but there's kind of like this really strong thing that the king has where it's like he's gonna make himself known, and I strive to do that. And in general, like I just want to.
There you go. It was a way of saying this is what it's like to be strong. And
Right.
then we go back to the original question I asked you about the connection between psychology and the acting and everything. So you understood that profile,
Right.
so to speak. Verdale, before you guys performed, when we were just getting ready, I kind of eavesdropped, and I just was sitting there and said, gee, what do these guys talk about? And I had the sense that this performance, this production, the production itself was a unifying thing. It made you be friends. Just talk about the relationship that came out of the performance and what does, let's say, a Lehman College performance of Rumpelstiltskin or Cinderella or Rapunzel, whatever else, that brings people together. And you, as an outsider, seem to be so comfortable with.
I think because I've been a part of other casts.
That's right. You're on Broadway and off Broadway. Yeah,
I always
Broadway is next, by the way.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wait, I'm not knocking. You guys listening? You better check it out.
But I've always considered each cast that I was a part of as my temporary family. So I treat them as such. And I love that theater brings people of all different facets of life together in this one sort of gel of community.
Why did you use that four-letter word that began with an F? Fear? No, you said fear.
Fear.
Oh,
Theater.
oh! I thought you said fear.
Theater.
I thought you said fear brings people together, and I was like, whoa.
No, theater.
Oh, okay.
Fear does bring people together, though.
Absolutely.
Well, I was thinking that because of, let's say, Cesar was talking about performing and being something he really isn't that kind of person, especially if you get to know him, he's not that.
But it's so funny that you say that because we all are kind of scared in this situation that we don't know each other. We don't know each other's abilities just yet until we get niched in. So in a sense, that does bring us together as well. But the camaraderie of theater and having these different talents and facets of ourselves come together and create this big body of work. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing.
What did you learn about the Bronx students, Lehman College, from doing this? And I'm thinking, because you're older than the traditional college students.
Yes.
So how did that play? How did that play in the play?
It
Or did it not?
did.
It did.
I looked at each of them as future Broadway people. I looked at each person as, oh, wow, what would they do in the outside world? What would they accomplish in this field? How far would they go? And to see all of just the bravery to actually do it. And a lot of them, this was their first production. So it was so nice just to see them, give their talent
To get there.
Yeah, to get there.
Did you offer any advice kind of thing, or was it more like leading by example, like you just kind of did your thing because you've been in shows before?
Kind of both.
Yeah.
Maybe I should ask Penny that question.
No. I brought a little sense of both. If they asked, I would give what I knew. But just carrying myself how I would in any outside production.
How long did you rehearse, Penny? How long did you rehearse to get this together?
Okay, once a week from the end of January till May.
Okay, wait. So that's 5 months, right?
Something like
5
that.
months, and only once a week.
Once a week is not enough, but that's all right.
Well, that's why I was surprised. I thought you were going to say so. And so, like after school, one day, that kind of thing.
Yeah, one night a week. This sort of goes with the answer I was giving you before about the writing of it. The big problem is that we have to write the play before we could start enacting it.
And that was included in the once a
I
week.
know. That's
My
why it's
goodness.
so much. They have to learn all the songs. And meanwhile, we're writing it, and I'm adding some extra songs because we added a sister for the girl, and we added a brother and a whatever.
So then you had to come up with other
Right.
stuff.
And so along the way, we're doing that. So it took about 6 weeks to write the script.
Yeah.
And then we only have about 10 weeks or less to do choreography, blocking, making a cast recording, doing everything. So it's really very little time.
My mind is blown, really. No, really, because the amount of work, and then this is the fourth time you've done this. You've done this with other classes. It must. You know what? Let's just get Verdale to sing first, and then I'm going to ask you more because I'm just absorbing the level of creativity between all of you, and then what it means for the students. We'll talk about that, ladies and gentlemen. Verdale Stinson Jr. Now let's see. The song is called Soleil. Soleil is her name. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Penny's going to go to the piano, and Verdale is going to belt it out.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
When nothing is all that you have, expectations are nil, your dreams dull and gray. When nothing is all that you have, you're immune to the world, alone in the night. And since no one cares, there's no wrong or right. But one day my golden maid appeared, filling this canvas that once had been night with magical colors, magnificent light. Out of nowhere she came, Soleil is her name. But people have always been cruel, and even my kin have called me a fool. My figure, the shape of my brow, it brings nothing but years. I still hear them now. I survived it somehow. But that day, my golden maid appeared, filling this canvas that once had been night, with magical colors, magnificent light. Out of nowhere she came, Soleil is her name. Defending my honor that day, deflecting each stone, each curse sent my way. The shield of her Joan is the strength of her touch. I love her so much. Since that day, my golden maid appeared, filling this canvas that once had been night with magical colors, magnificent light. Out of nowhere she came, Soleil is her name. Now nothing's the same, Soleil is her name. Woo!
Heart-wrenching, really, just beautiful. Verdale and Cesar, and of course, Penny Prince. Let's just go back to that conversation about creating this. Okay, it's one thing, so you do West Side Story or My Fair Lady, and the script is written, this is in, but to create this, are you nuts? I mean, and talk to me about what it means for the students, maybe who aren't, the kind of performers these gentlemen are, but who participate and write a script. So just talk about that process. It sounds like the most wonderful thing you could do as a college student, to me, anyway.
I think so.
I'm sure you do.
We started out discussing all the different versions of Rumpelstiltskin. You said it was German. There's also an Irish version. There are hundreds. I in my house alone, I have 10 different books, different versions of Rumpelstiltskin. And so first we discuss it and we say, which elements do we want to retain? Which elements do we want to discard? What's the important theme? And I actually always felt that Rumpelstiltskin was a good person who had been bullied as a child, and because he looks different in some way, hence in some versions he's a dwarf, he's this, he's that. But one year when we did it, the actor decided to give him a limp. Another time he had a unibrow. Another time,
and you allow the students to make that definition.
Yeah, they had to decide what is it that's different about you, that people have always given you a hard time.
How come I never went to school? Well, I did go to school. I went to Lehman College, but I didn't take
weren't in
that.
my class,
No, because this just sounds incredibly creative. Now, did every student who helped write it also perform?
Yes.
Or were there some who, like me, was an English major and did it? No, they were all performance?
Well, we had one head writer, Johnny Coveda, who's wonderful. I wish he could have been here today.
A professor or a student?
He graduated 2 years ago, and now he actually just got a job with Disney. Mm-hmm. So I hope he remembers me.
Maybe that's why he's not here.
But anyway, so he was our head writer, but the way we did it, we would do improvisation and discussion every week, and the students were supposed to send him lines that they thought of. So, for example, the king had dialogue with his knights, and Rumpelstiltskin had dialogue with Soleil.
And did you guys write some of the stuff that you said? Oh, wow.
Yeah, for sure. Yep.
Yep.
Well, so it's not like a separate right, because the traditional thing on Broadway, let's say, they write it and they tell you what to say. I'm sorry for interrupting. Cesar, what were you most proud of writing about? What did you write that you think worked so well? Now he can't remember.
No,
By the way, the production is over.
No, I can. I remember the specific.
He gave me a funny look, that's all.
It's because I remember the specific conversation that me and the Knights were having, and we actually sat down and we wrote it, like the three of us together, and it was just hilarious. It was can I remember actually? I think you might be right. Oh my God. It was something about gold. Something about gold. And we were
gold.
it was so funny because it captured the essence of the three of us, like the three of our characters. It was fun.
So here's my follow-up. And Verdale, you're going to get the same question in a moment. When you watch TV now, or when you watch a show, do you feel like you have more input into what is going on there? And
Absolutely.
He squinted. Absolutely. He said,
I watch a show and I'm like, I see you. I'll start to think about what they're maybe thinking, what their inner monologue is, because I'm like, when I was doing the king, I was thinking about this and I was thinking about that. So it's just interesting because I want to get in their character just to see how I would play it differently, knowing what I know.
Mm-hmm. This just gets back, and it's one of the things that I think about a lot, aside from all the music and everything. This is as great an educational experience as you could have, because this you're taking with you in all, even just sitting and watching TV at night. All right, Verdale, what about you? Do you remember things that you had input in writing that worked well that you remember?
Yes.
Unlike your brother over here who didn't quite get there.
No, so me and Damaris, the actress who played Soleil, our conversations at first were like really simple. It was like really basic.
You mean off the play? Off stage?
Yeah, off
just
the play.
Just
the two of us talking about how we would interact with each other. And then we gave our material to Johnny, and he turned it into these dialogues of just deep conversation between the two of them. And when we looked at it, we was just like, how did he take our little sentences?
Were you not happy?
No, we were ecstatic.
Thrilled.
You were ecstatic.
So because you wrote simply, and then he put it in a form that worked theatrically.
Yes, Johnny was amazing. Yes.
It really was.
So it wasn't quite as simple as the students doing it. They wrote the thing, and then Johnny put it together. I'm going around the room, and we'll start at the end. What about this story is interesting or compelling, or is it not, and you just played the role and did the gig?
Oh, no. Well, like Penny said, Rumpel was depicted as a lot of things, and he was mostly mischievous. What we did with Rumpel is we gave him a person to actually look at. Like, he wasn't just, like, he wasn't just that. He wasn't just mischievous. He had a backstory. He came from somewhere. He was connected to the king. He felt love. He felt abandonment. He had humanity in our version of Rumpel. And I think that was like the most important thing to me, that Rumpel wasn't just this character going around being mischievous, but what about him makes him that way, or what makes him tick?
And you felt comfortable portraying that?
Oh yeah. So
wait.
Yeah. So
excuse me.
Yes. So what I did was there's three versions of Rumpel that I actually looked up. I looked up his mischievous side. There's a Rumpel from this show called Once Upon a Time, if you guys have ever seen that show. And then the person who played Rumpel before, Spencer, I studied all three of those people.
You studied them.
Yeah, and I made them one person, pretty much. And I came up with my version of Rumpel.
That description can't help but suggest to me, and maybe to others, that this also was a tremendous educational experience. So now when you're given a role of another sort, you'll be able to figure out how to get in there and portray it.
Yes. And it's also fun.
What? Education? We need education? Really?
Yeah. No, education is fun. But I'm able to kind of just jump in. And
Cesar, what about the story intrigues you or doesn't? You just played it and walk away, or is there something that stays with you?
I think something that stays with me is that, and I think we talked about this when we were writing the script. It was like, yes, the king is seen as evil, whatever you want to call him, but what is it about him that's human? And then here comes the psychology also. Every time I was kind of working on the king, I was like, he's not actually this evil person. I feel like something happened to him and he feels rejected, and he knows that his subjects that he thinks love them, he actually knows they don't love him. So he's projecting this quote unquote hate towards his brother, who he finds out in the end. And so I think that was my biggest thing was, these are characters, but how do I humanize them? Because at the end of the day, I feel like the show really portrayed a kind of real life in a way. So I think the humanity.
And again, which I acknowledged right at the beginning when you talked about the connection between psychology and doing this work, this fits in. All right, Penny Prince, what do you think about what you've heard?
I love it.
Were you aware of this, or this helps you fully grasp what you have done?
This helps me fully grasp
Make sure you're in the
what we have
microphone.
done. The goal in doing this, because I've been doing collaborative musical theater for about 30 years, is to empower the people. So empower the participants so that they feel they are contributing in a very major way. They're not just learning a script that someone else wrote. So this makes me very happy to hear that. And this play...
And you probably wonder that about how many students were in the show?
In this show, there were 11.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
But it's true every year but this in particular, there were many very important sentiments that came out of the show, especially in the conversations between Soleil and Rumpelstiltskin, about being heard, the need to be recognized, the need to be able to be brave enough to speak up when something is wrong. These were very important conversations that came out of it.
And in total, it reinforces what you said a little while ago, that if you're a Lehman College student, the sky is the limit. You came from somewhere else. It's amazing, right? That you had the theater, you had people like this to work with, and then you had Bronx students who live real life, and all that. I guess we're just about to the end. Anything I didn't ask, Verdale? Anything you wanted to just mention and want to say about it? And then we'll ask about your own future. What's next? Oh, we already said you're working on a show, right?
Yeah, no. So I want to thank Penny.
Oh, thank you.
For allowing me into Lehman's world and kind of igniting something that I thought had died within me.
Within you and within the world.
Yes.
That you never knew this kind of thing could exist. And I don't want to boast about my alma mater, but I know that that's... I know that that's what's... I didn't think I was an English major and became a radio DJ and a talk show host. I mean, you know.
Yeah, no, but... Penny, she just lit the fire back in me when it came to music, and just checking on me in general in life, making sure that, yes, please, making sure that, I'm okay mentally, and, she's just a beautiful spirit and a beautiful soul, and just thank you, Penny. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Wow. Cesar, I don't know how you can top that, but say something. No, really, what about for you, works here and is going to last a little while?
Yeah. I won't top that, but I will add on to it. I think in general, I do want to thank Penny. I want to thank the rest of the cast, because for a really long time, I kind of let go of the dream. Especially the singing part. I was like, you can't do it. And it was that inner monologue of just drop it, just drop it. And so, yes, like lighting up that fire again. I really needed that. And I hope I get to work with y'all again in the future.
Definitely.
And one thing I did notice, you guys get along very well.
Oh, I love
Oh
it.
yeah, no. This is
Come on, put your arm around him. You know, but yeah, I could see it when I was watching you talk, and you were already at like level 5 into what was going on there. Penny Prince, I don't even know what you could possibly say after that.
They're both gems, you know, but I just want to say that Verdale everyone respected him so much. And then not only his amazing voice
And his experience.
but his experience and his he has a certain inner calm that he projects. And even there were a few times when we had some difficult rehearsals where people were very tense, and when are we getting the script already, and when are we doing this? And he always spoke sense to them, and he was calm, and
Really, really
so
good.
he really
You know,
did things that I couldn't even
We
do.
talk
He
about
really
in
did.
athletics, certainly, you know, you look at your favorite baseball team, of course, we got to say go Knicks. We all get that. But if there's veteran presence,
Yes.
even if, you know, maybe not the greatest player or whoever it is, but people gravitate around that.
Right.
Penny, what were you singing last night at 3 a.m. and what are we going to get next?
my God.
Because I know she's not going to stop. So
yes. Oh no.
you know, I've gone up to her office and see she's always got something cranking. So what's next? Do we know?
I'm not going to reveal.
Oh, see, she already knows. She already knows.
No, but I've been ordering books and getting them sent to me. I have some new ideas. So
Wow.
next year we hope to be back here with a new show.
I'm gonna just shout out again to my alma mater, Lehman College. It's one of the most special places in the Bronx,
Thank you.
in the world. It really. You know, I do my TV show there every week. I've been in there every week for 32 years, doing the TV show at the station. But the facilities and the people, I mean, that's what it's about. Thank you so much, Penny.
Thank you, Gary,
Cesar,
for doing
and-
this for us. Thank
There.
you.
Thank you so much.
All right, that'll do it. The Bronx Music Podcast is made. Yes, you can applaud, of course. Bronx Music Podcast is made possible through the services of Project Media Zone. We thanks to everybody here, Elliot and Monica Glick, whose house this is, and who does some of our outreach. Jordan Williams, my buddy, is the technical director, and of course also the brains behind Project Media Zone. It's such an important concept for the Bronx. Production assistant is Joshua Cruz. Thanks to Akeisha Neely of Fab 360 Entertainment, and for the police who are running an emergency out there, and also for her social media support. The Bronx Music Podcast receives underwriting support from New York City Council members Eric Dinowitz and Althea Stevens. Be sure to like us on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. Share us on all the social medias, and share the Bronx Music Podcast on Instagram and Facebook. And if you know another social media you want to share it, go ahead. What do we care? Anyway, thanks. Peace and love and music. We'll see you.
So much. Excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you. That was beautiful.
In Ville, even in Gun Hill, from Freeman Street to Prospect Avenue, Fordham Road, Clark City to Elder Avenue, Valley Park, Eaton Wall to Bronx River, Bronx Deal, Sound View, S-Bar, baby. I'm boogie down like this choke king Mario within the playground. This is how it go down. Up